Hello and welcome to Midday Update with me, Antra Bose. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Oman updates new COVID-19 guidelines for travelers. Housing Ministry suspends work at all service halls temporarily. French scholarships on offer for Omani students. Global outrage over fate of missing Afghan women activists. There may be need for yet again another boost, says Fauci on fourth COVID-19 booster dose. No PCR test for fully vaccinated passengers travelling to India. Germany's luge stars looking to climb Mount Olympus after Beijing Winter Olympics. Prasidh Krishna takes 4 as India registers 44-run win over West Indies. Those are the headlines. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the COVID-19 updates and the local stories for the day. Stay tuned.
Play. You listen.
You talk. We listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Welcome back. Coming up are the COVID updates for the day. 5 new COVID-19 related deaths have been registered in the Sultanate, taking the total death toll because of COVID-19 to 4,195. In addition, as many as 1,743 new cases of coronavirus were registered, which brings the total number of positive COVID-19 cases to 360,999. The ministry added that 2,433 new cases have recovered, bringing the total number of recoveries to 333,906. Now for the local stories. The Sultanate of Oman has updated its travel guidelines for people arriving and departing from the country. According to Oman airports, following is what you need to know. For arriving in Oman, here are the guidelines. All travelers 18-year-old and above should have taken 2 doses of vaccine in order to enter the Sultanate of Oman from all ports. If you're fully vaccinated with a negative test result taken pre-arrival, then first register through travel.moh.gov.om. Upload the vaccine certificate with the QR code through the same website. A negative result of COVID-19 PCR test or a reservation for COVID-19 PCR test upon arrival to the Sultanate of Oman is required. Present the travel request from the travel registration form upon arrival. If you're not vaccinated, and this applies to Omani nationals only, it's required to first register through travel.moh.gov.om in order to get TRF code. Upload a pre-arrival negative PCR test result with QR code through the same website. Reserve for another PCR test upon arrival to the Sultanate of Oman. Take a PCR test upon arrival at the airport. Home quarantine for 7 days. Take another PCR test on the 8th day. If tested positive, residents must quarantine for an additional 10 days. If your PCR test result is positive, Omani nationals only, and if you got a positive PCR test result at the traveling destination, then you will have to complete the quarantine period. Once you have completed your quarantine period, you must get the immunity certificate from the healthcare provider stating that you have completed the quarantine period and recovered. When arriving in Oman, you will be asked to present immunity certificate and the vaccine certificate, and no PCR test or quarantine will be required. Please be advised that the airlines shall not board any passengers, Omani and non-Omani, with a positive PCR test result. Air crews are also subject to the precautionary measures for COVID-19 issued by the Ministry of Health. Citizens of the Sultanate of Oman and the UAE should also take note of the following. Upload a COVID-19 vaccination certificate as approved in the Sultanate of Oman through travel.moh.gov.om. Upload a negative result of the COVID-19 PCR test conducted within 14 days prior to the scheduled time of arrival in the Sultanate of Oman through the same website. Present the registration certificate when traveling between the two countries. Work will be temporarily suspended at all service halls and all governorates for 2 days from Thursday, February 10, 2022, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning said. We inform you that all service halls and the governorates will stop working from Thursday, February 10, 2022 to Saturday, February 12, 2022 in order to serve customers in an integrated digital manner, the ministry said in a statement. The Embassy of France in Muscat has announced scholarships for Omani students who wish to complete their studies in France for the academic year 2022 to 2023. The Embassy of France in Muscat has announced the availability of scholarships for Omani nationals who wish to complete their studies in France. The priority will be given to master's level applications. Studies can be followed in French language, that's B2 level certification required, or English language in all disciplines, and in an institution that delivers a diploma certificate by the French Ministry of Higher Education, the embassy said in a statement. To apply, you need to mail MASCATE at campusfrance.org with the following documents before April 15, 2022. The documents are the attached scholarship application forms, copy of diplomas, a cover letter detailing a studies project in English or France, a resume, possibly a copy of the exchanges with the host institution, attestation of pre-registration. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with the international stories and sports news. Stay tuned.
We play, you listen.
You talk, we listen.
You got something to say? We want to hear it.
95.4 in Muscat.
And 91 in Salalah.
Music, news, views, and everything in between.
TFM.
TFM.
Let's talk.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Coming up are the international stories. The top UN envoy in Afghanistan, Deborah Lyons, met top Taliban leadership on Wednesday and expressed concern over the missing Afghan women activists. The UN representatives are continuously engaging with the Taliban to voice concern about women's safety issues in the country. On Tuesday, the top UN envoy in Afghanistan had urged the Taliban to take all possible steps to secure the liberty of women. In recent weeks, several women activists who were raising concerns about right issues went missing in Kabul. The UN has sought information from the Taliban on the reported detentions by the outfit. Earlier, Deborah Lyons also expressed deep concerns about the well-being of disappeared women activists. In a meeting with Afghanistan's acting Deputy Prime Minister for Political Affairs, Deborah Lyons had said, "World support to Afghanistan has eroded without respect for all Afghans' rights." White House Chief Medical Advisor Anthony Fauci hinted that there may be the need for the fourth dose boost in the United States to battle with the COVID-19 variant Omicron, adding that the booster could be based on age as well as underlying conditions of individuals. Earlier, President Biden's top medical advisor said that 500,000 people around the world have died of COVID-19 since the Omicron variant of the coronavirus was first detected in November, terming it the full-blown pandemic phase of the coronavirus crisis. Speaking further, Dr. Fauci said, the data from the trials on children from 6 months to 24 months, as well as those from 21 months to up to the end of 4 years, have been conducted by the pharmaceutical company, in this case, Pfizer. Meanwhile, some statewide COVID-19 mask mandates in the US are coming to an end. For the fully vaccinated passengers traveling to India, the requirement of COVID-19 RT-PCR test before boarding has been removed. Now they have to upload only the certificate of full primary vaccination. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, has issued new guidelines for international arrivals, which will be effective from February 14, 2022. Now for the sports stories. With the team event ahead Thursday at the 2022 Beijing Games, there seems no limits for Germany's luge athletes. 5 single medals, 3 gold and 2 silver are consolidating the country's reputation as the world's #1 in the speed sport. Over the years, technical progress, growing expertise and a competitive team atmosphere have led to the leading position. At Beijing 2022, the German luge team continues to ride the wave and is strengthening its position as the country's most successful winter sports ahead of speed skating, biathlon and bob. Tobias Alt and Tobias Wendel snatched their third consecutive double golds after 2014 and 2018. The success followed the medal contributions of Johannes Ludwig, Natalie Geisenberger, Anna Beriter and Sasha Benekin. "We will climb Mount Olympus in Greece together by foot. Then we are on the top spot too," Benekin announced. Mount Olympus is said to be the residence of the Olympic gods. Prasidh Krishna's 4-wicket haul helped India defend 237 and defeat West Indies by 44 runs in the second ODI of the 3-match series at the Narendra Modi Stadium, Ahmedabad on Wednesday. With this win, India has gained a 2-0 lead in the series. The final ODI will be played at the same venue on Friday. Chasing 237, West Indies openers Shai Hope and Brandon King put on 32 runs for the first wicket, but Prasidh Krishna led India's fight back as he dismissed King and Darren Bravo in quick succession. Stand-in skipper Nicholas Pooran had high hopes of the Windies side, but even he failed as he scored just 9 before being dismissed by Prasidh. Jason Holder went cheaply on the bowling of Shardul Thakur, and the visitors were left struggling at 76 for 5 in the 22nd over, still 162 runs away from the target. Shamara Brooks and Akeal Hussain put on 41 runs for the 6th wicket, but as soon as Windies' innings started coming back on track, Deepak Hooda picked up his maiden ODI wicket as he dismissed Brooks, and the visitors were reduced to 117 for 6. Akeal Hussain, Odean Smith and Fabian Allen also chipped in, but in the end it did not prove enough as India registered a 44-run win. Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Washington Sundar and Deepak Hooda all got in, but none of them managed to stay at the crease for a long haul, and this resulted in the men in blue posting a score less than the 250-run mark. For the West Indies, Alzari Joseph and Odean Smith scalped 2 wickets each. Those are all the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.